What's up, mamas? I'm Rebecca. You're watching the Reseller Mom Show. Thank you for joining me today for another Reseller Momversations. Today I have Elise with me from the House of Hangers on Instagram and Poshmark. Hi, Elise. Welcome.
Hi.
How are you?
Good.
Good. Well, thank you for agreeing to do this with me. I have been reaching out to different moms in different scenarios and situations, and I was really excited to learn that you are a military mom.
Yes.
Military mom. And, my husband was in the 82nd Airborne, and we lived in Fayetteville, North Carolina. He was at Fort Bragg. So I did not do this then. So I'm actually really kind of curious to hear, how you kind of got into reselling. Was it despite you being a military mom and because you were a military mom and wanted to have something that you could kind of pick up and move with you? Like, I'm just really curious kind of how they play together. So I would love to start there, and then you can kind of tell me a little bit about where you sell and just your normal, hi, this is me.
Yeah. I didn't really think about it as being like a military thing, but I like later on, it kind of dawned on me like, hey, I could bring this with me wherever I go. I could just literally pack it up and anywhere, which is awesome. I used to work like retail merchandising and just like little jobs and stuff like that. And so I've been doing it for about 5 years, but only about like 2 kind of seriously.
Okay. So that's a long time to just even be, in it. A lot of people, I feel like it all kind of started up like around 3 years ago. I mean, that's how long I've been doing it. And then I feel like some of the people I watch on YouTube or have encountered, they're all like, oh, I've been doing it 3 years. It just seems like all of a sudden
It's like a trendy thing or something.
Yeah. So you're old guard.
Nah, a little bit. I'm still learning. When I first started, I used to be an extreme couponer, which is sort of how it all kind of started, because I would do that, and it's kind of like the same principle in a way.
Yep.
So my shelves that I use now for my inventory used to be full of laundry detergent, and so that's how I got started, sort of. And then I had so much stuff, I would have these giant yard sales, and I would sell some of that stuff, and it just sold so fast. And I'm like, I wonder like what I could do with other things, because I've always been like into thrifting and stuff. And so I downloaded Poshmark, I think like 5 years ago last month.
Wow.
And I was on, I think it was the Kohl's website, and I saw stuff for like $5, and I knew absolutely nothing. I was like, I'll buy this and I'll put it on Poshmark and I'll see if it sells. And some of it sold.
Yep.
So I was just kind of like addicted from there.
That's actually probably my first online retail arbitrage too, was Kohl's, which is funny because not all of their clearance is amazing, but sometimes if you hit it right and then you have like some coupons and different deals to stack everything, you can do actually pretty good. And I have, when is it coming? I record videos like so far in advance that sometimes I don't remember the timing of when it's gonna, like, did it happen? Did I already? So it's coming. We're having a cruise next month, so I'm trying to bulk up videos so that way they can all go while I'm gone. And so I think that's one that's going to go in there, where it's all about online arbitrage, and I talk about like my best Kohl's deal ever and all of that. So that's funny that was your first as well. So that's what got you hooked. You're like, okay, I could buy it cheap and sell it. And now, I saw on your Instagram some very amazing finds. Like a bunch of girlfriend jeans that you had all like laid out specifically, and then these Gucci boots or whatever those were. And so this is me, and I'm just making complete total judgments. I'm like, she's in the middle of Arkansas in some military town somewhere. How is she finding this stuff? And then I saw a post where you said it was an eBay to Poshmark flip. Is that how you're able to get, because Arkansas doesn't strike me as the most fashionable state I don't know. I mean, I used to live in DC, and they would always rate DC as the most non-fashionable town that there was, because everybody was just government and didn't care. So it's not like I have great, amazing fashion sense, but obviously this is the business we're in. So I'm just like, is that, you just kind of created your own little fashion center there because you can find them online, or what? Tell me about that.
Well, I mostly like kind of started with thrifting, and everything in my store was thrifted. But then lately, since I've had kids, I don't have time to go out thrifting like I used to. So I've been trying to get creative, and I've learned, since I have more knowledge now, I know more of what sells, what brands, like I can buy cheap and sell high. So I'll buy a lot of stuff like from eBay or Poshmark, mostly from people who have no idea what it's worth. And then I'll just lowball them an offer if I see they accept a lot of low offers. And a lot of times they'll accept it. They just want to get rid of it. So I'll just buy stuff that way, and then it just comes to my doorstep. And I usually never have a problem with it being like damaged or anything, which is what I was worried about.
Right.
But those Gucci boots were on eBay, and I was going through, and they had just popped up, and they were, I think, $120.
That's what I read. I was like, that's a lot to sink in. I mean, it's one thing to pay up when you're paying $15, $20, you know, like for something, whatever it is. And I mean, I know it's Gucci, so it's different. I've never bought anything Gucci. Gucci is reselling. I have a watch that I bought myself a while back, but like nothing, you know, to resell. So I've not ever researched it. But I mean, that's a lot to sink into an item. You had to know for sure that it was a good arbitrage.
Yeah. I mean, the thing that sold me was that it said it had been authenticated, and I could tell from the pictures that it was the real deal. And the other thing that sold me was that it was still listed on Gucci's website. So it was like current season. It was just missing like the optional belt buckle thing or whatever that goes around the ankle, which you didn't even need. So I was like, all right, $120. I know I can get like at least double my money on it. So
why do you think they were selling it? They just needed money, and so they just were not researching and just put it up to whatever?
It was from one of those like really massive sellers who do consignment and stuff for other people, and like their goal is to just constantly like flip stuff super fast. So that's, I think, why, and because it had that flaw sort of, so that's why I think they priced it low. Because when I was looking at it, it was like there was tons of people that said we're looking at it like every hour, and I'm like, oh no, I need to buy this right away.
I mean, I find that so amazing, because I know that there are people that do it, and I guess once you go down a road, you kind of tweak it and perfect your system of what, you know, you can buy for and what, you know, you can sell for and how you go about doing it. To me, it just seems like a sea, you know, well, you could search I mean, where would I even, like, I would, and is it like a good use of your time? Because for me, I know that I can go to the bins and I should come away with something. I may not come away with the most amazing things, certainly not Gucci boots, but I can always come away with a variety of things, usually at least 20 in the time, you know, because I only go for 2 or 3 hours. I can't go for all day. And it is convenient that it's only 30 minutes away for me. But it's still 30 minutes. It's still, I have to pay tolls. I still have to make sure that Geo's taken care of, you know, so it's not the most convenient, but it's reliable. So I guess if I was like, if I had 3 hours, would I go to the bins or would I try to search online and see what I could find? It would seem way riskier to me to do that, but maybe that's where the reward is then, because you're willing to do it.
Yeah. I mean, I usually do it. A lot of times I have to like carry my son around in a baby carrier around the house. I find myself like scrolling through eBay and stuff. Like that's the only reason I do it. And so I just found some sellers that I repeatedly buy from, and they just continue.
And that helps. Yeah. Cool. So, and I'm sorry, I should have asked earlier, how old are you have 2 kids?
Yeah. One is, he just turned 6 months, a couple days ago. And then the other one is 2.5.
Ah, okay. And from talking on different, you know, shows or whatever, I've been saying, cause Gio's almost going to be 4, that like 1.5 to 2.5 age for me, now that I'm on the other side of it and he's almost 4, I felt like that was the hardest to be a reseller. So, cause I started reselling about when Gio was 6 months old. So I've been doing it from 6 months old till now almost 4. And I'm just like, that 1.5 to 2.5 stage was the hardest, I think. Now I'm kind of seeing the light, because he can play, he can be trusted to be in the next room, and I can be, you know, in here in my reselling room and taking pictures or whatever. So, you know, or I can get about 45 minutes to an hour, you know, at a thrift store or something like that. Although I don't really bring him that much anymore, but but when he was younger, it was really hard, and I couldn't imagine doing it with 2. So do you go out thrifting with them? Do you get someone to watch them? Do you just not even bother? Like how do you, because there's still a lot of people that do have super little kids and stuff. So
if I'm like desperate and I just need to get out of the house, I'm like, I don't care. I'm just gonna throw them in the cart, and she'll usually sit in the shopping cart part in that little kid seat. He'll be in his little car seat in the actual cart.
Yeah.
And she's really good. She likes to flip through the hangers, and what I like to do with her is I like to go to the kids book section first, and I'll go get a stack of books, and she'll just sit there and read the books, because I hate giving her my phone all the time or anything, so I try and avoid that unless I'm just totally desperate.
I would do the same thing. Yeah,
she loves
the same thing.
But I don't bring them that often.
Yeah, and now, like, I don't really give them the phone. I'll still give them snacks. I always tried to go at snack time, and I would bring specific snacks that I wouldn't give him any other time. And I tried to give him whatever his best snack was. So, like, whatever he was really into, that's the one that I didn't give him at home, and I only gave to him when we went to the thrift store. And now I do that with the storage unit. Like, he's into graham crackers. So there are graham crackers in my house. Only at the storage unit. That's where I keep them. And like the other day I was like, Gio, look what I bought, because we ran out because he ate them all. And so I'm like, he's like, oh, when are we going to the storage unit? So now it's like he kind of wants them, like so
graham crackers.
Yeah. And I mean, it's not like I'm trying to like I'm always so calm, like I could totally mess this kid up about food. I don't want to use food and confuse food and use food in like a weird way. So at least he associates it with that, and he knows he can have it there, but I don't usually say like, here it is, so because I don't know why, because he's not even a girl, and I guess if I had a girl, I would feel even more concerned about it, like food associations and things like that. But so he knows that he can only get that there. And there used to be like certain toys that I would leave at the storage unit that he could only play with there, and that way at least it was new and it had that novelty aspect to it when he went. So you don't have a storage unit or anything, you keep everything.
No, it's in my garage.
And you're in Arkansas, so like weather wise, that's no big deal to have it all in there.
It's actually really hot. Like our summers can get up to like 105-ish and stuff, and it's still like 90 degrees right now. It's really hot. I've never had a problem, luckily, with anything out there. I did recently take my swimsuits in, though, because I used to keep them out there, but then I started worrying about the elastic, especially on those. So that and shoes are the only thing I keep in the house. Otherwise, everything else, I've never had a problem.
Yeah, I wonder about the, like when you have them in bags, because I store everything in, the resealable bags, like, does moisture get in there? Would that make them, like, that's what I don't know. And when I did keep some items in the garage long time ago, I only had so few, and I wasn't storing them in bags then. So I don't know the answer, unfortunately. And now the only things I keep in the garage are like, when I do my dollar sale, that's kind of like one of my clearance tactics for things on the way out. And I just can't donate them yet. So that's the last stop on the ladder, last rung on the ladder. So those sit in the garage because I just don't care. And then I just pull them out when it's time. So I just had one. No, I'm pretty well. I've only done 2 so far. I'm going to try and do them like once a quarter.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, I wanted to do the one early enough to where if I wanted to have one more before the end of the year, I might be able to. I don't know if I'm going to be able to pull it off just with everything that goes on. Like our lives, it's Halloween, then my birthday, then Thanksgiving, then Gio's birthday, then Christmas, then New Year's and my mom's birthday, then January 4th is my husband's birthday. So like our entire life happens like in these next couple of months, to where I start what I call my end of the year preparations checklist.
Yeah.
I've already started it. So like I'm buying stocking stuffers, things for our advent calendar. I've already bought the little things that Mom can't talk now. Like all the little things that go in our advent calendar, like I've already bought them. So
right.
Yeah, I'm in full swing mode over here.
Yeah.
Speaking of the end of the year, do you do anything like, because you do have some new things, or at least I saw a lot of new with tags items. Do you try to have Q4 giftable things on purpose, or is it just
I shop at a lot of I do a lot of like retail arbitrage too, probably more so than thrifting now. So discount stores like TJ Maxx, stuff like that. So the maybe like 70% of my closet has now become like new with tags stuff. So it really helps just flip things a lot quicker than it used to. Because sometimes, I mean, I don't mind sitting on something for a year or maybe 2 years, but after 2 years, I'm like,
yeah.
So yeah, a lot of it is new with tags.
That's awesome. I like the idea of retail arbitrage. Like I said, I've done a few. She's just gonna keep going. I've done a few things that have worked out well that I've bought online at like clearance, but I have had terrible luck with going to TJ Maxx. And it's probably just I get excited about something and I, am too positive on it when I should really only be getting it and then be negative about it and then decide I'm gonna buy it. But sometimes I'm like, oh, that would be good. I also like multiple quantity listings. And so, the idea of they're all the same kind, I get a few sizes or, they're all the same size or whatever. And I have a bunch that I got from TJ Maxx, like Nanette Lepore distressed jeans. And I'm like, why doesn't somebody want these distressed jeans? I don't know. Maybe I have them up too high or something. I don't know. I haven't had good luck with it. Do you have any tips?
Yeah, I shop I just try and do as many different places and avenues as possible just to get because a lot of times TJ Maxx I don't find anything. I mean, I think the best thing I found recently, some Vionic flats. They were only $25, brand new, and I just flipped them in maybe 2 weeks for I think $67 is what they sold for. So doubled my money, and I bought about 3 of them, so that way I could just easily sell them.
You're spending some money.
I do, but it's only because I only spend money on the things that I know will sell and sold in the past.
Yeah.
I randomly, hey, I'm gonna go buy stuff. I research it.
Add up. I mean, the jeans that I bought, I think ended up being like $9 a pair, which if I was in a thrift store, I would never be paying $9 a pair. But I thought, well, even if I'm making less of a margin, but I did one listing, I could sell it 4 or 5 times. But yeah, all well and good. None of them have sold. So I don't know. I need to put, I think, a little bit more research into my comps and just be very strategic.
Yeah, I just, ever since having kids, I just had to develop more of a strategic mindset, I think, and just everything I have to look up. Because I used to go to the bins and just buy tons of stuff, and I'd sell it all for $10, $8. And that worked fine when I had all day long, to do this. But now when I have 2 hours at night, I'm like, I don't have time to do all that anymore.
So a lot of people, and for me, have started reselling after having kids. So we don't know what it's like to not have kids and resell. So I think that's also an interesting point that I would like to hear more about is what is the transition when you were used to doing it a certain way and now you have to completely adapt because you can't do it the same way you used to? Is it just becoming more efficient overall, or are there any specific, an example or something of something where you're like, well, I used to do it this way, now this is the way I do it because the kiddos or something like that? I'm just really curious because I said, I don't have anything to compare it to.
I would say I'm way more efficient than I used to be. I mean, I used to have, my daughter's room was my eBay room, and that whole room. And so now I literally have this tiny little, maybe 3-foot corner by our TV where I take my lights and put them up and take them down. So I've gone from that to a tiny corner, but I batch do everything. So I'll photograph 50 things at one time, and that'll last me 1.5 weeks of just doing all that. So I just photograph once a week, maybe.
Got it. Yeah. And so you're just putting up a handful of listings a day then.
Yeah.
And that when I first started, that's how I did it. And part of me sometimes wants to go back to that. I have a virtual assistant, I have a photographer, and I thought that that would expand everything so much more. And it has in certain regards, but in other ways it hasn't. And now I'm doing this, you know, because I want to do listings too. And that way it's, you know, if I'm paying $1.50 to my photographer and she does 10 listings a day and I do 10 listings a day, then now I'm only paying her 75 cents a listing basically, because I'm doing the other, you know what I mean? Like I kind of look at it like that. But then at the same time, I'm just like, if I only just did 5 listings a day, I could do them all myself, and whatever I make. And then maybe I don't need this. So I go back and forth on it, because I went into it thinking it's going to double and triple your time and all of this stuff. But sometimes you just do it yourself and hope for the best.
Yeah.
I know a lot more now than I did then, I guess. She's been with me for 2 years. So, you know, a lot has changed since our initial relationship, you know, as far as the process and what I've picked up.
I feel like I kick myself all the time for all the time that I used to have that I did nothing. Because I was like, oh, I've got all the time in the world, and I would just take forever to do everything. I had no schedule or anything. It was just kind of when I wanted to do it. And now I'm like, all right, you have 1 hour and let's photograph this big pile, and that's it. And I just try not to put any pressure on myself as much anymore. Like if I get stuff up every day, that's my goal. But if I don't, because I'm exhausted or something, I don't beat myself up about it or anything. I just, all right, I'm going to take a break today. Like it's not my full-time job or anything like that where I depend on it.
Right.
So that is a good thing.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That's good. I mean, I think too, and that comes with time also. Like, I feel like, I don't know that I'll ever get to that place, because I don't know that and I'm not saying that you're like laid back or anything like that, but I don't know that I could just be like, you know, I think it more comes from like exhaustion of like, I literally can't do this anymore. I need a day.
That's usually the only reason.
That it is like, oh, well, maybe I'll just do this up, you know, I don't know. But I do see the need for what I'm doing now to like evolve a little bit. Like it's been 3 years. I've definitely learned a lot. I feel like once you hit a certain point, yes, I still have lots more to learn, of course, and I want to keep doing that. But like, you get to at least some kind of confidence and like settledness. I don't know.
Right. Yeah.
I already told you, I'm like, for those that are going to be watching this on a Saturday, and I'm not even sure which Saturday at this point, but it's 7:30 at night and I get up at 4:30 in the morning. So I told her I'm like way past brain dead stage to like have actual conversations with people in kind of public. So Lord, but yeah, I mean, I'm starting to get to that point where I'm like, is it better to have people help you and kind of go more, or is it better to kind of scale it back and just have a more relaxed but like strategic way about what I'm doing? So I'm kind of contemplating it all. I haven't decided yet what I'm going to do for next year. This is kind of the period where I start thinking about goals and stuff. I put that on Instagram. 78% or something like that, 60-70% people said they started to think about their 2020 goals when they responded. Are you thinking about that kind of stuff right now, or do you not really do a lot of goal planning out?
You've just got me thinking about it. Yeah, I mean,
well, some people do it and some people don't. Like, you know, it just depends on the kind of, you know, some people like that stuff and some people don't.
Yeah, I mean, I've got so much on my plate from now until like next spring. I haven't really, this is going to be kind of put on the back burner a little bit. We've got some stuff going on. So I'll just probably be in survival mode for a while. Yeah. But I think I just probably want to keep going like the pace that I'm going at, because I'm pretty happy with where it's been, and it's been too overwhelming, which is good. But definitely in the future, once my kids are in school and I've got some more time, I'm going to ramp things up a little bit and make it more job.
I think it's good too to try out different paces and setups and stuff like that. You know, like if you did it by yourself, to see what it would be like having help, or if you are, you know, doing only so many listings a day, to try to do more and see what that's like. Because you never know until you push yourself or scale yourself back too. Like I said, you know, before I didn't know and I was just picking up anything. Now I do have things that can sell for 30 and 50. And I think tonight on Instagram, I scheduled my biggest flip ever. So by the time this goes up, it will have already happened. But anyway, I don't want to say it. So so that was really exciting the other day, to just like have that kind of milestone. But I'm very like milestone, goal driven, have to have some kind of roadmap or at least box to put me in. And if I choose to break out of it, great. Or if I choose to stay in it, or if I choose to throw that box over here and get a different box, like that's fine. But I need to start out with something.
Yeah, I agree.
And it's nice being able to make my own. And I think that's why I dig being on my own and doing my own thing and not answering to a boss, because I always think I know best anyway.
Yeah.
It's like, I'll make my own box. We'll see how that goes, and I think my biggest thing that I need to do is not switch things so quickly. I get antsy, I get nervous, like, was that the right decision? And I kind of like get all crazy. So
yeah.
Are you like that, or are you more, it sounds like you're actually a little bit more steadfast and like, we'll see through a little bit longer, which is good.
I try to be. I'm not one of, like, I know a lot of people do like 50% off sale today in their closets. And like that for me doesn't work because I don't mind sitting on things for a long time.
Yeah.
So like I'm in the mindset of like long-term type of things. Like I'll wait for an offer. I just try to, I'm way more laid back than I used to be about it.
Yeah.
So that's something I just kind of had to learn and kind of grow into, because I used to just be like, sell, all the time. I'll take offers. Like, I just want to get rid of stuff. And now I put so much time into it. I'm like, all right, I need to make it worth my time, because I feel like my time now is the most valuable thing that I have.
Right.
So I did hire someone to share my closet on Poshmark. Right. So that is one thing that I've like outsourced, and it has like tripled my sales, which is awesome.
Absolutely. Now tell me about that. Like, they do it one time a day. It's the same person. They do it 7 days a week. Like,
I think
people are interested in that. So
yeah, I think the service I used, I believe it's 2 different people who share it, and they share it a certain number of times every day. For I think 30 days is what I had signed up for.
Oh,
and
so
right now,
a month package that you reoccur.
I had someone had a free trial or something, so I did it for like, it was like a 24-hour thing. So I tried it, and my sales, I sold like 5 or 6 things. I'm like, okay. So I did the week, and I'm like, okay, this is working. And then I just did the month, and so I'm gonna take a break for a week or 2 just to catch up on everything, because I kept selling so much stuff, which is awesome.
Right.
It was a lot to ship out all the time.
Yeah.
So it was taking from like listing and stuff.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree. And when I started adding people to help with the sharing, but like super slow, like I found a girl locally, but she did it remotely. Then I went to a virtual assistant, through like a service like Upwork. Yeah. And now I have that I've had a few different ones throughout the last couple of years, but now I've had one who's been with me 2 years, and then she had her brother. She's like, do you mind if my brother kind of helps out with some of my stuff? Cause he's trying to build up his profile, on Upwork or whatever. So it's her and her brother that help me out. I don't know how much longer he's going to be with me. He might be like getting another job or something, but, that's been really helpful, because you just don't have to worry about it. So I only pay for 2.5 shares. I have a full closet share in the morning, full closet share at night, and then like just the women's in the afternoon. And then I try to go in and like do bursts when I can here and there, of just like everything's going around. Oh my God. Stop. Oh my God. It's going on my computer. It's like, you can't see that, thank goodness, but like everything's happening. And it's just so nice, especially at 7 a.m. That's like high super, I lost you for a second. High super duper time of like getting Gio on his little like part-time school day. And, just 7 a.m. is a crazy time. And at night I'm brain dead. And so when he goes and shares at 9:30 at night, I'm grateful for that, because I'm half in la la land. Sometimes if he's a few minutes later, whatever, I could already be sleeping, and I don't even worry now, like, did he share, didn't he share? Because I can always check in the morning and know what happened, but he's always very reliable, and it's so nice to not have that on your plate. Now, how many listings do you have?
On eBay, I have, I believe, 620, and on Poshmark, I have about 450-ish. They're the same listings. I just haven't put everything from eBay on Poshmark. So
Interesting. So did you start on eBay and that's why, or?
Yeah, I've been on eBay the longest, and then Poshmark I really just kind of started getting more into the past year or so, because I would let cross list things sometimes on it, but eBay was just, I would always sell so much on there. Poshmark never even compared, but lately, I mean, Poshmark's really been coming through on like the newest tags items, the trendier things, like the higher dollar items. So that's where I'm really seeing a lot of progress.
It's so funny. Everybody's experience is so different. Like some people just can't even stomach the idea of eBay, but they're like all in on Poshmark. And then some people love Mercari and other people would never want to deal with it. And for me, if I could only sell on like like a Poshmark and Mercari type thing, whether it's those two or another, like the idea of the app where you just make it very super easy. None of this eBay crazy, I'm running sales and promoted listings and this algorithm, and like I'm so over it. The shipping doesn't scare me. Usually like the shipping is what scares people and they get all crazy about it, but like shipping doesn't scare me. My sister wasn't an eBay person. I brought her on Poshmark and she kind of got me onto eBay. So she kind of, I think when someone kind of shows you, it's a little bit less scary than if you're just trying to learn it yourself. But like, God, I really wish I could just get rid of eBay. Like, I really do.
I feel like you need a thick skin. With eBay, you need like to grow a thick skin because you get returns. You get like crazy people messaging you.
Yeah.
I mean, some people are just leave you negative feedback and you're like, what did I do wrong? And it's just like Poshmark, you don't deal with hardly any of that at all. Like you may get a return here and there. But they usually deal with it pretty well. But eBay is just like, whatever.
Yeah.
Like they just don't seem to care as much, which I still love eBay and will continue doing it, but just their customer service just drives me crazy.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't get, like, I probably should be more hands-on with it. And that's, with having kids, it's just one of those things where it's like, yeah, I could, like my sister would always feel like, is it tracking? What was the feedback? Like, and really follow up and kind of like track a whole, and I'm like, I don't care. Like, I don't care. If they leave me a bad feedback, what am I going to do about it anyway? Like, I don't care. And I don't care. I shipped it. So unless somebody tells me otherwise,
it's gone.
Okay. Like, maybe that's terrible. I don't know. I could never go that extra mile with it, And again, because I started out on Totspot, which was an app for, kids clothes only. And then Poshmark bought it out and that's how I got on there. So, coming from that side where you don't really have to think about any of that stuff, I just thought it was kind of crazy with eBay. But I wish I could get rid of it so bad. I don't even mind the returns either. Like, I mean, it's a bummer. It totally is. And if this big flip that I have ever gets returned, I'll be really pissed about that. But like, it's part of doing business. I mean, I get that. And I think some people need to come from that kind of detached place where it's like, I'm operating a business. Like, yes, it's my business, but it's not like I said, come look at my actual closet and then tell me that I have the worst clothing ever, take it out, wear it,
$5 for it,
and then send it back. Like, I'm not saying it's a business.
Mm-hmm.
So, I have a thick skin in that regard, but it's just such a lot of nonsense. I don't think I have way better success with Poshmark than I do with eBay. For a while, they were like neck and neck. And since I took off free shipping, that's what I did, free shipping for the first 6 months. And then I'm charging shipping for the second 6 months. I'm going to evaluate it all at the end of the year. Sales definitely went way down. But my initial math was like, even if I have half the sales based on average shipping and whatever,
right,
I would still be more profitable having less sales by charging shipping than I would do free shipping having more sales. So that's kind of where I was just like, you can't just always be looking at the top line. You have to be looking at the bottom line, especially because I do pay people to help me. So my cost just isn't my cost. There's other costs. I do have a storage unit. There's that. So, there's a lot that you have to look at. Do you charge shipping or do you free shipping?
Yeah, I started out with free shipping before they kind of changed everything the past year or so. And then after they changed, I think it was like everyone had to do returns or whatever they had done like within the past year that just kind of made everyone go crazy. I started charging shipping because if I did free shipping, I would lose out when they return it. You lose out on that initial shipping cost. And I'm like, well, that's not cool. So I just started charging shipping, and I mostly just like hold an item up. I'm like, is it 8 ounces or less? Yeah, I charge 8 ounces or less. Or is it 8 to 16 ounces? Then I'll just put like 13 ounces. And then is it going to take like a 2-pound like box or something? So I just kind of like eyeball it. I don't sit there and weigh everything out anymore, which it seems to work pretty good now. I usually don't go too crazy off with the shipping.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
I don't check it after. So whatever it is on the front end that I put in the listing, and again, a lot of it, my photographer is weighing them and recording all of that, and then my virtual assistant's listing it. So I'm not as involved at that point. You know, then I'm not rechecking it later. So I tell her, like, you need to add in a little buffer, you know, room for packaging materials and whatever. And for the most part, I get just the, like, you know, sometimes PayPal will send you the thing, like, you get a refund because it was a discrepancy in your shipping. It always freaks me out because I'm like, oh, do I have to pay? And then it's always money coming back to me, which is nice. I mean,
yeah,
silly, but I mean, I'm like, I guess they would be more apt to tell me when I have to pay. I don't know, or is it really just completely random? But
yeah, I don't know. I don't think I've ever had that happen to me personally yet.
that's good. I get them every once in a while, but like I said, they're always usually in my favor. I think I've only ever had one time that they were going to charge me or deduct extra money. So I'm like, that's fine. No big deal on that. But I think I'll go ahead and we'll start wrapping it up, only because I want to be mindful of your time. And I'm looking here. I could hear Gio come in. They were in the pool. Now it's probably going to be bath time, which means at some point somebody's going to be busting in here. That's definitely my responsibilities. But this was a great chat. I really appreciate it, and it was interesting because everybody that I've talked to brings, you know, something unique and something different. And you know, it's not like I have a major following, though I do have my 1,000 subscribers now. Thank you very much.
Awesome.
But, you know, it's nice for new people that find us, they can say, oh, well, she had something interesting, let me go follow her, or just a great way to be, you know, kind of networking amongst reseller moms, because our businesses are so unique and our home situations are so unique. It's nice when you find someone that has a similarity that you can kind of connect with. So I do appreciate you kind of sharing all of your tidbits and, you know, kind of letting us in a little bit to what you do. And if you want to follow Elise, she is House of Hangers, again, on Instagram and on Poshmark. You don't no YouTube. Maybe.
Not in the future. I would
there
like to.
There you go. I think everyone should. I mean, I don't know. You have to be good with yourself to say, like, is this something I'm okay with doing? Because for a while I wasn't sure. And now I'm just like, I nervoused myself to the point where I just said, I don't care. and then it became a little natural. But I do think that everyone connects with someone different. And so if you have the inkling to do it, you should definitely try. Give yourself a period of time where you're going to say, I'll do it for this long and see what happens. And if you choose to move forward, great. And if you don't, that's okay too. The world moves on, and, you know, no harm, no foul. But you should totally give it a try. I'm sure you have lots of things that you can tell people about the way that you source creatively. And I think that's it. You just have to have something, you know, like for me, it's more like processes and systems and kind of like being super efficient and trying to do those kinds of things, because not everyone thinks that way. I thought everyone did, but apparently people don't, and they appreciate those kinds of tips sometimes. And then, you know, like for you have developed a way that you can source online in such a way where I'm like that seems like I don't know if I can do it, you know? So it's amazing. But anyway, follow Elise on House of Hangers. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
Great Q4, and I look forward to having you back on in the future.
Awesome. Thanks for having me.
Thanks everyone for watching. Please like this video on the way out. Leave a comment for us. Go ahead and follow Elise, and check back and subscribe for more Reseller Mom content to get more done, make more money, and stay sane while raising kids and reselling online. Have a great day.